G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a Kar98K. This is a weapon that has been ported from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, and it is based on a real-life firearm of its namesake, a Kar98 Kars, which is Carbine 98 short in English. So this is a German service rifle used through the Second World War. It is a bolt-action rifle which fires the customary to this mod 792 Mauser cartridges, and in real life it was adopted into the German Wehrmacht at around 1935 when things were heating up during the Second World War. Of course, this thing boasts custom sounds and animations like you'd expect any good port to have, but with that all out of the way, let's go into the customization. So first of all, we've got receivers. The calibrated powerful receiver, good for doing lots of critical damage, but the advanced receiver is your strongest for damage. Look at that DPS only 166. That's because it's a bolt action rifle, so you got to make those shots count. So we'll throw on the advanced receiver. We'll move on. We've got a legendary slot thanks to legendary modification, so we'll just leave that. And you can install a comb if you feel like it. This will help you with aiming down at sights or a scope. Pick what you want. It's sort of a Call of Duty thing that doesn't really have much bearing other than maybe other than cosmetic value onto this thing. It looks cooler, doesn't it? Next, we've got iron sights. Now, if you have a scope on this thing that obscures your breach here, you'll actually reload this thing one by one. It takes advantage of the bullet counted reload system. You'll reload as many as you need to actually fill up the inbuilt magazine. But if you decide to have nothing over that or have it nice and clear, you'll just reload the 5 stripper clips every time, and it's a faster reload all round. So that makes it nice and simple for the person putting the mod together, and it makes our reloads faster and more consistent. So isn't that nice? I found that the only scope that offers you any type of actual magnification is this one of all things, which is great because we don't have the breach here obscured anyway, so we'll have a faster reload when we put on this sniper scope. It doesn't really look like one, but trust me. And we can increase this thing's range by increasing the barrel length, which will make it less of a carabiner and more of a, what's the word? I believe the word is Gewehr. But next we'll go over to the muzzles, and you can have a breacher device on this thing. Enables one-hit melee kills. Not in Fallout thought. Close. But yeah, we won't be attaching anything like that. If you throw a suppressor on it, it'll increase your nominal barrel length, which will actually increase your range. And since we've got Ace Operator, that's boosting our damage as well. So there's really no reason why not to do that, so isn't that cool? And you can change the skin on it, just a little bit of a custom texture on it, including butterfly kisses. Black tire fair, which is the coolest one of all of these. Fluid dynamics, that one might be one of those skins that moves around in Call of Duty, but we haven't gotten to that in Fallout yet. This is Heart of the Beast. Flying a little bit closer to the sun with that eagle on this particular weapon, aren't we? You also notice it's got some extra Picatinny rails. Whether that actually adds any attachment points, I'm not sure. I'm going to assume that it doesn't. Otherwise, this would be the only skin you'd ever see on this thing, wouldn't it? This one's saddle horn. It makes it look old school cowboy, which I think is pretty neat. And of course, just standard that you've seen earlier. But we'll go black tire fair because it's stealthy and dark. And we've got a damage modifier here for extraneous damage boosting. As tempting as it is to throw the plus 90% damage on, let's just go stock, and we'll see how she goes. We'll grab another one of these things. I'll show you how to get them. It's pretty simple, but we'll go unsuppressed and in a suppressed version. In order to obtain this weapon, first you must go to a chemistry workbench and bring a hunting rifle, because that's one of the ingredients in crafting this thing. Also, you might notice that there's no perk requirements for this one, only the materials, which is aluminum, hunting rifle, plastic, screw, spring, steel. Also, you can make the proprietary ammo in this mod on the workbench as well. So you've got a standard 10 and 20, and then there's a 100 and 200, which will give, this one will give you 100, and this one will give you 1,000. We don't have enough steel to do the 1,000 prompt, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Okay, we're finally here. Welcome to Immersive Gunners Plaza once again. Here is our stealthy sniper status Kar98K. That's what it sounds like when firing suppressed. And there's the reload animation. if I go over to this one with the big hefty scope, which just note the magnification, it's slightly more, ever so slightly more on the smaller, tinier scope. Weird how that works, right? But anyways, once I fire this one, also suppressed, I've shot 2 rounds out of it. Reload. 1, 2, done. Very good. And lastly, I've got an unsuppressed one. Sort of like a sawn-off barrel. Shortest barrel and a holographic sight on the top. With the muzzle breacher for one-shot melee kills, but actually not really. So we'll start off like we always do. We'll just give a little bit of a snipe and see what we can come up with. Very good. Less damage without the headshots, of course, but we can one-shot kill in the head. And it is damn satisfying to do that. Later whiff. Locked in right now. Focused on those headshots. Could make my job much easier if I just slowed down time. Like, I could just do this in VATS and have the game aim for me, but maybe that's what I should do. Well, you notice with VATS, it's like 100% accurate from all the way back out here, just because of the range stat being so high. So we're not suffering from any damage loss from range at basically, what, render distance here? So it's going to be hard to beat, to be honest. If we can keep ourselves nice and hidden, we get a 4.4 times multiplier for our troubles. That looks like it might be all over now. Should be onto automatic crits at this stage. Yep, we are doing 1,000 damage. So without those glorious sneak criticals, not quite enough to do the job, unfortunately. That being said, 1,000 damage on a headshot like this, as easy as it is to get, like normally I'd expect it to be out of AP by now, but for some reason this thing's AP usage is like deliver a spec, so I can just keep firing and being in this slow motion forever, and provided I kill enough people to trigger Grim Reaper's sprint like I just did before, we could just keep on rolling, which does that cheapen the experience a little bit? It might, you know. So let's go over to something a little bit more loud. Take that. I can't believe they're bashing me through that. 1 crit for you. Take that. And that's a sniper knockdown too. Interesting. So the sight here, it's got that scope keyword. Yeehaw indeed. Hold very, very still, friend. Thanks. Those 2 easy headshots. They're not cheap. So really not having too much in the way of problems with this thing. I think with this thing's shorter barrel, we are starting to see that damage drop off a little bit over range, but whatever, that's fine. This one feels a little bit more consistent, and the sights are a little bit better for this type of thing. Do they usually just sit still like they do? Hoping to get some sneak criticals back in the mix here, but yeah, it's been a pretty cruisy run thus far, and even this scope, I mean, it is like a reflex sight spec. There's no like zoom in or FOV manipulation, as you just witnessed the bullet counted reload from a third-person perspective. I mean, it's not really a scope at all, is it? Funnily enough, this thing hasn't got any knockdowns yet. Nor has my previous one, which is supposed to be a scope, so who knows what's going on there. Try bashing them with it. We'll use the rifle as a club. Hit him with the old hunting rifle trick, where instead of rechambering the bolt, you just hit them, and that cycles the bolt for you. It's perfectly realistic, and that's what happened in real life. If you jolted the weapon with enough torque to get the bolt to go, then I don't see why this isn't possible. And really, well, you're gonna pay for that. Just you wait. Okay, time to speed this up a bit. Let's start flogging criticals, shall we? Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Get up right close to this guy. Oh, you're only a conscript. You're fine. That must have been the guy that threw the grenade at me. That was not cool. I don't usually do stim packs, so we just have to ride that pain train. Nice. What else we got? You two down there. Should have lined up for a little bit of gun through there. Wasn't meant to be. I suppose the only way we can get around rapidly now is if we... That's nerd rage, at least. Oh, there's a sniper knockdown again. Oh, of course, we've already witnessed that. Observed that. Let me just reload this thing. Try to make as much use out of this nerd rage as we possibly can. Oh, I've sprung all the way up here somehow. Yep, totally meant to do that. Let's just go over here now. And we're back. We're good. Okay, we kind of wasted that nerd rage, but I don't think there's too many left. In fact, there's probably a few people here that can be rooftop camped. Welcome to Battlefield. This may be a COD-ported weapon, but we're playing it like Battlefield 4, alright? We're taking Get Some. Is that some sort of drug? Is it like an enhanced version of Psycho called Get Some? Might want to follow that one up. That could be a good idea for like some sort of combat stimulant drug, just if you're into modding and new drugs to do stuff. Although, what would you have it do?
Sweet.
The same thing as Med-X and Psycho, because we've already got that in New Vegas in the form of Slasher. One crit. Unfortunately, we can't get collapse with this thing. It'd be really awesome if we could, though. The ballistics in this system aren't quite advanced enough to carry the projectile through. Oh, breaching device. Take this. And with a cheeky level up, we are done here. Right on the last guy, too. So perhaps we're a little bit unlucky today not to get too many Idio Savant procs to bring that level up a little bit earlier, so to stop me from hobbling around. But I think you get the idea. So, I mean, stealthy snipers in this game, they're always going to be stronger, but making the best use out of your damage per shot, obviously with sneak criticals, is probably the best way to run this thing. But even if you don't do that, keen use of VATS and getting damage that way is a totally fine and okay way of running this thing. Check out this. That's full XCOM colors. Do you think the Austrian painter is mad that a black woman is wielding one of these service rifles? Probably. Okay, so it's occurred to me that we haven't really seen this thing to its full VATS potential, so let's change that. The game plan is just to stay back as far as we possibly can while still being able to hit with VATS. Our range should enable us to do the maximum amount of damage that we possibly can, and with all of these crits ready to go, I'm prepared for this fight. There's the sniper knockdowns that we didn't witness earlier because, well, we were just one-shotting everything, and now he's sort of rolled out of view. But that gives us enough time to get some AP back, and the sniping shall continue. We've got a faster battle. What is with him just cartwheeling off into the westerly direction? Is that something to do with the Earth's rotation and its axis? It might be, you know. See what I did there? Next! We'll go and shoot this guy in the head again, and there he goes, off to the west. They're running west, just like all of those people. They're on the eastern side of Berlin. Just tumbling over that fence when it comes down. I think at this stage, I'm almost in the realm of being detected, so I'm going to just start backing off, and hopefully we can get another sniper knocked down, or at least something a little bit more. There's yet another cartwheeler. We'll fill him up with a little more lead here, and then it'll be it. All done. Yep. Superpower with the stealthy sniper. But I've got VATS tweaks to make my VATS shooting way faster, because normally if you're doing criticals, you have to go through that cool cinematic but very time-consuming animation to do it. Being able to smash criticals back to back to back like that, as firing as quickly as possible, I think is much better. You don't have to wait, and you don't have to see the same VATS camera angles for like 16 times in a row. So isn't that cool? Okay, let's try something a little bit different. Okay, this time we're gonna fight, but there's multiple. It's the Clone Wars. The shroud of the dark side has fallen. Begun the clone war has. And, oh, everyone's cloaked. We're invisible. He can't even see us. Is he gonna start attacking? Oh look, there's even a caravan guard getting into the fight. Oh, there goes one. This stealth boy is gonna wear off in a second, right? Or is it like a constant combat cloak that I've got happening? So what happened is I just duplicated the Allah follower NPC and duplicated my inventory. So they're probably all carrying bulk stim packs and also bulk bulk everything, basically. Bulk stealth boys, that's the one. And apparently 5 are dead. I can't even see them. He's pretty tripping over them, but so far so good. Oh, there goes another one. That one even shouted pretty sound advice to get back before getting crushed by a ragdolling mutant. Then everyone gets up. Great, we ready to fight some more monsters, this time a bear? Yeah? Okay, so there's some crazy shit going down there already. I think some of the Allahs teleported directly in front of them, and now they're being mauled by them.
Let's do this.
So everyone open fire. We've already lost 2. Everyone's cloaking. Oh my god, all I can hear is the foley of the... They're not using suppressors, by the way. They're using the shorter barreled versions with the reflex sights, but I can't hear the shots. I just hear the mad barrel clanking, bolt clanking. It's like mega suppressors. This is kind of always the funniest thing about COD modders. Usually the foley for the weapon is way too loud. Like, way too loud. Sometimes it's louder than the weapon firing itself, which is completely backwards. It needs to be a little bit more subtle, and this is just taking it to the very extreme. But, yeah, I think we've got this one on ice. They can't stand up to the power, and I don't know if I gave Ella the sniper perk. I don't think she has it, but I'm knocking it down fairly constantly. So they can just keep on laying fire into it, and things will be good. Nope, there goes the second. Third coming up pretty soon, but he's almost dead. Then everyone uncloaks as soon as the fight's done. I gave Alla a thing that gives her like a concealed stealth boy, so that just might just activate in combat, but their inventory was wiped for mine, so I'm not sure why they keep doing it. Maybe it's just because they're just carrying stealth boys and they're just programmed to use it, but I think you get the idea. So that there was the Kar98K, and also many of the same followers. That was kind of weird. But if you want to see this thing in your game, check out the link in the description. Just had a massive stealth boy go off. Like 16 at once. That's awesome. Anyways, so yeah, if you do want to see this thing in your game, check out the link in the description. It also works as an apparel item through classic holstered weapons as well, and it looks really good there. So yeah, go ahead and check it out if you're interested in such a weapon. There's about I think there's like 2 or 3 Kar98s already out there, but this Call of Duty flavored one I think is of high quality and worth a download if you're interested. Thank you very much for watching, guys.